What's up, big boys and girly girls? Welcome back to another episode of Fluffy Flamingos, where we teach you rad magic tricks and how to better your films. Today, wowza today, we're going to talk about color correction. That's right, today we're going to talk about how to make your footage look more Hollywood and cinematic.
Want you to be mine, and I want you to be mine.
Hello everyone, welcome back from the intro. My name is Shai Mizrahi and you are watching Film Friday on this channel, Fluffy Flamingos. Okay guys, we're going to hop into Premiere Pro today and I'm going to show you how to color grade your footage using 3 easy steps that will hopefully help you pop your footage and create your own style. Okay guys, so here we are in Premiere and here are some clips that I have selected that I filmed myself. And we're just going to go through a very short process on how I color correct and grade my videos. Yeah, so I have some clips here that we're going to use. I'm going to show you how to color grade and correct these videos. Now, there is a difference between color correcting and color grading. Color correcting must always come first. It is where you fix the lighting and the color. Then the color grading would be where you start adding the color into it, such as a LUT pack or specific selective color. That would be color grading. So some of these clips you've maybe seen before. The first two I know you haven't. So this first clip is me and my dad. I'm showing him a magic trick. This is the bare footage without any LUT or anything like that. It's very orange, very flat, and we're gonna try and fix that. We're gonna give it some more contrast. First thing you're gonna do in Premiere is you're gonna go up here to this tab called Color. That's gonna open this whole thing on the side. Your basic correction, your creative, curves, color wheels match, HSL secondary, and vignette. I'm just going to show you what I do for a very basic correction. I don't ever go too crazy with it. It's going to get insane. But for now, for step 1, you're going to come over, make sure that you're in your media bin, and just go ahead and make yourself a new adjustment layer. And we're just going to be using the same one over and over again. So this is going to be pretty simple. Go ahead and take your adjustment layer and drag it over your clip. So first we're going to correct this footage, basic correction. Like I said, this looks a little orange, so we're going to cool it down just a little bit, right about there. Now, it's a little dark, but I do want to add some contrast. I want to add some highlights, and I want to bring down those shadows, bring a little bit more contrast into this footage. Now, this footage here is a Halloween magic trick I did back in October. So I want to give it that ominous feel still. I don't want to take that away. Before and after, as you can tell already, it looks much cleaner. There's much more detail involved. So that was just a basic correction. I just want to make sure that the temperature is right and that, you know, there's enough detail in here. As you can tell before, again, this is very flat. You can't really see a lot of depth into this footage. But now you can see all the detail has been coming back in. So that is just a basic correction. As for creative, I can use a LUT. As for me, I have a couple packs here. But some of these are just very random LUT packs. So let's say I wanted this LUT pack just for the sake of going through this. It looks really intense. It looks like a 70s music video about punk rock. So what we're gonna do is we're going to lower the intensity all the way. And we're just going to ease it in so it's not as intense. So that's before and after, and there you have your color. And if, let's say, you don't like the creative tab at all, let's say you don't even want a LUT. After you've gone through all of them, you don't like any of them, just hit this check mark and it'll just remove it completely. But I like the way this looks. It still gives that Halloween vibe, dark and ominous, warm, vibrant. So I like where that is. For our next clip, this was a sports section that I did for my high school this past year. So this guy is a baseball player. obviously, as you can tell from the footage. And what we're going to do, we're going to start with a basic correction. Make sure you're on the adjustment layer. Now, this was a very sunny day, so I want to give it a little bit more warmth. And I do want to give it a little bit more contrast. Let's drop down the highlights a little bit, get that detail back into his arm over here. Let's bring those blacks down a little bit, perfect, and bring those whites down just a tad. Now, this is looking a lot better than before already. It's before and after. Maybe the contrast could be down just a little bit and ease up on the warmth. So you have before and after. Now, we want to already go back to the creative tab and choose something. Let's do, very famous one is teal and orange coloring. So that looks very, very intense. So we're going to lower it all the way and ease up into it. Give it that lighter color back into it. And there you go. That would be my finished footage. So there's before and after. Okay, so here we're going to do a little bit more intense detail. This is where you have 3 steps instead of 2. Again, first take the adjustment layer, bring it over here. Now we're just going to go to the basic correction. I'm going to warm it up just a little bit. Bring in the saturation just a tad. Contrast. Right there, that's looking good right there with the contrast. Bring down the saturation just a little bit. I think I overdid it. Let's ease on the highlights, just bring them down just like that. Perfect. But we can go up on the whites, bring down the shadows, and that looks much better already. More contrast, more color, it's all there. It's punchy, it's in your face, you can see it. I love it. Now, I'm just gonna add that teal and orange. And we're just going to go all the way down, just about right there. I don't want a whole lot. This is about 16, so that's before and after. It looks great, but as much as I love this footage, her eye still just seems a little bit desaturated. So this is where the step 3 comes in. We're going to add a second adjustment layer, and we're going to make a layer mask. And so what this is going to do is we're going to mask around the eye and solely color her eye. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the ellipse tool, and we're just going to shrink it down. And so we have our layer mask. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to up the feather over here. It's about 37. And what I'm going to do is go back to basic correction, and I'm going to saturate it quite a bit. And I'm going to make it more green. So there you go, you have a very emerald looking green. Still, you can kind of see that the coloring is getting under her eyelids. Now aside from the feather, I also want to mess with the expansion just a little bit. So it'll be a little bit more inside, so perfect. So it's less on the eyelid now. And you have just color graded the eye. Now, I'm not going to go into depth about this. I have a video on how to motion track. This is going to be a little bit harder because you have to go frame by frame. If I go all the way back, then it's not going to be on that part of the eye anymore. But you can motion track the mask and follow her eye, and it should be totally fine. Okay, so here we're going to do something similar. Just take the adjustment layer, place it on top. We're going to use it for both of these because these are very similar pieces of footage. This is my most recent video. If you didn't know, I'm engaged, so go ahead and check out the video. The link is in the description box below. Back to this, we just want to fix just a little bit of things. We want to lower the highlights. It's a little bit too highlighted for me. Let's do -20. That looks about right. I want to give it more contrast for sure. Let's bring down the blacks a bit. Give it a lot of that contrast with the color. Bring down the whites. And let's just down the shadows so you can see the reflection in the car a little bit better. There you go. That already looks much, much better before and after. And we can check this clip here, before and after. I might change it up just a little bit. I'm going to cut this adjustment layer, go over here, and I'm going to actually bring the highlights back a little bit and lessen those shadows. Let's see, right about there. And let's bring those blacks up just a little bit. So right here, before and after. Again, you get that color in the orange and in the trees, and you get that contrast going, looking much, much better. So let's go back to this clip. I'm obviously going to use the teal and orange because it is just so teal and orange within this footage. Now that is a little too teal and orange. So let's bring it up just a little bit. Let's say to 45-ish. Let's say 50. So again, this is before and after. You can see the vibrancy in the color. The blues are there. The orange is there. We're gonna come do the same thing over here. Just change it to teal and orange. That's obviously way too much for her skin. She looks like a vampire. So I'm gonna bring it down and bring it up just a little bit, right around there, around 40. So now you can see the blues in the top of the car. That looks gorgeous. The orange is now vibrant. Her skin is not completely destroyed by the LUT, and you can see the teal in the sky. That is it, guys. It is a very basic process. Just make sure that you fix the temperature and the lighting first and then add your LUT. It is very simple, and everyone always underestimates the basic correction. If I took this off, that would just be it with the LUT. It does not look as punchy. It is not as good looking. So make sure you fix those basic corrections. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope it helped break some barriers. I'll see you guys in the next episode on Magic Monday. Wait, it is Monday. Ha! Weird. You guys might be wondering where I was on Friday. Well, interesting story. I stepped on a rusty nail and I had to go to Instacare, which is more like InstaWait because I was waiting in there for 2 hours. Oh, also, you guys like this shirt? You're probably wondering what this is. You guys know how kids are broke for the yearbook? That was me this year. So, this was my yearbook. Okay, anyway, I'll see you in another episode today because it is Magic Monday after all, so yeah.